What's up guys, my name is Joe and this is Opinion, and in this episode I want to talk about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. I've just seen it, it's very fresh, and this is going to be very spoiler heavy because it's in some way a review and in some other ways kind of a rant and what should have been or what I wanted to see, or I don't know. If you're interested, just stick with me. First of all, the very first thing I want to say, and of course, before the first thing, the pre-first thing, like Star Wars, there's always a pre. Spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, and you don't want to get spoilers, then, don't watch this video, come back whenever you watch The Rise of Skywalker. Now, with that in mind, the first thing I want to say, the very first thing is, yes, fuck the Holdo maneuver. When I heard that they should be fighting against the First Order or Final Order and they should use the Holdo maneuver, and I think Poe said, no, that's like a 1 in a million chance. Oh my god, I was so happy. That was the most annoying thing in The Last Jedi. Although it looked freaking amazing, it looked really cool, but it didn't make any sense in the Star Wars lore. And this is exactly the same thing that happened to a lot of things in this movie. A lot of things have been retconned, a lot of things have been corrected, a lot of boxes have been ticked, and in some way, the story suffered. The story suffered, but obviously I cannot say anything bad about Mr. J.J. Abrams because he had to work with a very shitty situation from The Last Jedi. And The Last Jedi was, from my point of view, my opinion, it was a very shitty movie. Not even Star Wars movie, just a very shitty movie, and nowhere near to the concept of building a trilogy. No, it was just a really sad fuck you to the Star Wars universe. But now, we are here with the 9th episode. They have been working hard to, bring us a story, and I have my good things, I have my bad things, and I have my I don't know how I feel about things, and a couple of things that I really wanted to see. So, I made my notes. This is very fresh. I just came out of the cinema. It's been half an hour, so as I was coming home, I was writing down my thoughts on what I want to talk about. Let's talk about the not so good stuff, so the good stuff are at the end and we leave on a happy note. First of all, okay, Palpatine's back, fine, let's deal with that later. But he had the huge armada of his old empire and starships and everything. And I'm just sad about the fact that we cannot get over the situation that basically ever since A New Hope, except with the exception of Empire, they're trying to blow up planets. Now, you don't even need a Death Star. You just have to have a Star Destroyer, and they have these special guns, and now a Star Destroyer can blow up planets. Stupid plot. We didn't need that. We didn't need the power of that. I think in terms of movie, in terms of story-wise, it's not gonna bring a good element if you rehash these kind of things. All right, now, the other thing I didn't really like, it's basically the extremes we are at. First, yeah, the First Order or Final Order has very strong guns. On the other side, Rey is overpowered from the beginning. From the beginning. I understand that his training should have been in The Last Jedi, but that didn't happen. Maybe they should have done something. Maybe they should have brought back characters, Force Ghosts, who could have done something other than Rey being so freaking powerful. Now, what my true opinion is about this movie is this is actually 2 movies crammed into one. This is what could have been if JJ was directing all 3 movies, and then we wouldn't have needed Palpatine because Snoke would still be alive. We had the training sequence here. We had the first crawl that was super rushed. In my opinion, it was super rushed, very little information, and in the first act of the movie, we were jumping very quickly, which we needed. It wasn't good, but we needed it because we needed the exposition of the situation to get from point A to point B to actually have a resolution at the end of this movie. Now, with all that said, there still could have been stuff cut out from this movie and maybe left for other things. The whole desert planet sequence is not needed. Absolutely. If you want that sequence in there, it could have been done a little bit different. It could have been done on another planet which they visited. Basically, this involved two planets that we did not need to see. We didn't need the new droid. We didn't need the new character, the girl who was in Poe's past. And C-3PO could have just translated the Sith holocron or dagger immediately. He didn't need to have the whole subplot of the memory wiping situation and everything. That time could have been used for exposition in the beginning. To slowly let us find out that Palpatine is alive, maybe explain how he survived the fall. And C-3PO, I know it was a very nice gesture to put him into the story and actually have him have an arc. But at the end, it was retconned because he just got his memory back from R2, and we all knew that that was going to happen. We all knew once he said that R2 is backing up memory, we knew it's going to happen. So we didn't need that part. Yes, we found out that Rey can, use force healing, fantastic, but there would have been another way that, you could have used that. In this, I'm very, very sorry if I'm jumping from topic to topic, but I just want to go through step by step all the things that I did not like. And still saying here, the new droids, why do we need new droids? They're actually pretty okay, but it's all just for toys. And even now, just thinking about toys, because Disney's going to have to make money off of this, they should have just focused on a strong script. I mean, just go watch YouTube. Hire some of the people who theorize about Star Wars, and I guarantee that if you just spend 10 minutes on YouTube, you find 5 more better scripts than this was. All right. Now jumping from the beginning of the story to the end of the story, which really bothered me was the kiss between Kylo Ren and Rey Palpatine. Now, as we know, it's not deserved. I know they were doing the Force time back in the Last Jedi, but Kylo killed Han Solo, who Rey had emotionally invested time in and was actually like a father figure to him. He killed millions of people. He was the leader of the First Order. He caused pain and suffering to Rey. And now she's just like, smooch. And then, obviously, healing Rey, that was a very nice gesture. And yeah, that I actually liked, but we'll get on to that. So I don't think that kiss was deserved. I don't know why it happened, because probably the fans really wanted to see a Reylo romance or whatever, but no, it shouldn't have not been done. I think Kylo's arc in terms of redemption was fine. He had to die, and that was okay. But that subplot with that, I don't know if we needed that. One other thing that really annoyed me about this movie was, why are there only blue lightsabers? I mean, Leia's could have been a yellow lightsaber. Why wasn't it a yellow lightsaber? And where is Luke's old lightsaber? Where's Luke's green lightsaber? Why aren't we using that? Why is that just like disappeared from existence? And why are we treating Anakin's lightsaber as Luke's lightsaber? That wasn't Luke's lightsaber. Yeah, he inherited it from Obi-Wan when he gave it to him. But Luke's lightsaber was the green lightsaber. Where was it? Why wasn't it used? What happened to it? And another thing that really bothered me with this story is, yeah, we didn't need the C-3PO subplot. Maybe that time could have been used for a better explanation of the Knights of Ren. They were not used good. They felt like bounty hunters at the end of the day. I was really hoping that they were going to be some kind of Force users. They were going to be some kind of pupil from Luke's Jedi Academy. I was really looking forward to maybe all of them being a clone of Rey. That would have been so awesome. They would have been dark side users and clones of Rey. clones of Palpatine, but they're not strong enough to actually be the next in line after Palpatine. And that's why Palpatine was searching for Rey, because Rey was the original and she couldn't get the clone that she was looking for. But there was young Ben Skywalker who he could turn and could put in charge of the clones of Rey, and he could be the leader among them. That would have been a really cool plot to explore, but that was thrown away again. For what? Erasing C-3PO's memory and just, jumping through everything. I know. I'm really hanging on to this part that we really didn't need, but that's where I would have crammed it into the story to, find out some other details and not, introduce new characters, because that's one thing we did not need in this movie, are new characters. I know that Disney wants to push this forward and there are going to be TV shows off of this and everything tying in, maybe explaining how the Emperor survived, maybe even The Mandalorian will explain, just as if you've been watching episode 7 of The Mandalorian, that's where we first saw the healing powers, because it happened. Baby Yoda healed a guy over there, and I just watched it right before the movie, and then we're going to the cinema, and then Rey is healing people, so fine. So, these are the things that I don't like. Now, the things that I don't know how I feel about is, as we go into the lore, and basically what they're saying in this movie is, once a Jedi dies, and once a Sith dies, they transfer their essence and their powers into the ones that are left. So now that there's only one Sith with Palpatine and one Sith or Jedi with Rey, now all of the powers are in them. I don't know how I feel about it. It would make sense, because that's how Rey could be so overpowered, because all of the Jedi powers are in them, because they're the only two left. Maybe now that I'm talking about it, it makes really much sense on the powers that they showed us, because Rey was really, really overpowered. So was Palpatine at the end, when he got some life essence out of Kylo Ren and Rey, and he was blasting lightning out into the sky. Yeah, maybe. Now, the other thing is Leia being a Jedi. We did not see this coming, and I can put this on Rian Johnson's, sheet. It was his thing. He made Leia a Jedi when she was blasted out into space and she went back into the ship. I mean, that's where Leia should have died, I think, in battle by Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren being the big bad of this whole thing that, basically Rey should have defeated by the end of the movie, but that didn't happen. Now, all right, what do I like about this movie? Because as much as bad as I said, I do actually like this movie a lot more than The Last Jedi. I really like that we see a cool new Sith planet. I really like that. I like the concept, that the lore and everything. I like that we focused very heavily on the Force in this new episode. I like that when something happened, I don't know exactly what, because it's very, very, very fresh, and she heard about this planet, and Rey opened up the book, and it was like, yeah, it's an ancient Sith planet, and let's go there. And it was done amazing. I think the whole vibe and the music, especially John Williams and the music, oh my God, that rocks me all the time. It was nice. I really liked when we were going in. We saw Snoke in like a Bacta tank. Well, not Snoke, multiple heads of Snoke. So it was a clone. Snoke was a clone that Palpatine was puppeting. And I like that they paid attention, on that, and we could see that it was explained. It was ticking off the box. Why did Snoke die? How could he die? Etc. etc. Now, as I said in the very, very beginning, the Holdo maneuver, I love that they not retcon it, but they gave it like once in a million chance. We don't do that because we're gonna lose a lot of ships. Now, a very, very nice touch was when Rey went back to Ahch-To and wanted to throw away the lightsaber, and there was Luke, and he caught the lightsaber and said it's not very nice to throw away, or it's not very respectful to throw away a lightsaber. That was the most beautiful fuck you to Rian Johnson that I've ever seen in my life. That's how it should be done, Mr. J.J. Abrams. Thank you. I'm very sorry that we had to do this in a movie, but yeah, this is my opinion. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. Mr. Rian Johnson, you fucked that scene up very much and you deserve this. Now, the arc of Kylo Ren in this movie, I appreciate. I think it's the only way he could have gone. I like that they decided to kill him off at the end because that's the only way, that was the only way for him. I was very surprised when I saw Han Solo, even if it was just memory, but I was very surprised, and Kylo forgave himself. That was kind of weird, but we needed that because that's how the audience actually tries to forgive Kylo, and we were actually never really mad at him because he never really turned really bad, which is a shame because he should have been like the very, very big bad boss of episode 8 maybe, or by the end of episode 8, but we never got to feel that because he was always just like a little child, even against Luke. And the other thing I really liked were the new Force powers. Yeah, we saw finally Force healing, but Force object teleportation. That's how when at the end Rey gave the lightsaber to Kylo, and when Kylo got the necklace from Rey, I really liked the Force object teleportation. I don't know what to say about this, what the actual Force power is, but that's what I would say. Now, transferring life essence is what Force healing is basically, and that's how Rey healed the creature, and that's how Rey healed Kylo Ren after she didn't kill him, but she stabbed her with the lightsaber. And yeah, I like these new Force powers. Now, the situation is that we have wrapped up the Skywalker saga. I don't like that at the very end Anakin's lightsaber was buried and not Luke's. Maybe it should have been all three. Anakin's, Luke's, Leia's, now that Leia has one. Leia should have had a yellow lightsaber, just like at the very end Rey had a yellow lightsaber, but I think it looked like a dual lightsaber, but we never saw the two blades. If you look at the very top of that lightsaber, it looks very much like Darth Maul's lightsaber because the dual-bladed lightsaber had that kind of top, and I think it was that. We should have seen her fight with her own lightsaber. I really wish they would have went the extra mile to actually, by the end, create a new lightsaber for her. Maybe we should have seen it at the very, very end of the training sequence. Palpatine was absolutely not planned for this trilogy. He had to be brought in. They used him okay. We don't get much explanation on what happened to him or how he got back. He didn't really look very dangerous, and he was a very rotten away old man, and he started getting strength, and fine, I could go on with that. Interesting. I was very pissed off about the fact that the leaks and rumors and spoilers were true. So if you read or heard about them, you basically knew the whole story. I was very sad that we didn't see much of Dark Rey because she was just a vision, and they could have pulled that sequence a little bit longer. I really wanted to see a red dual-bladed lightsaber fight. I wanted to see more exciting lightsaber fights. I didn't get to see that, and I was not excited about the lightsaber fights in this movie. Even The Last Jedi didn't have any lightsaber fights, Jedi Sith fights. I was more excited about the throne room scene than any of the lightsaber fights over here. I never felt that the characters were in danger. I never felt that there was any, I never felt that anything could go wrong. Even when Chewie gets captured, I knew that they're going to get him back. When C-3PO got his memory erased, I knew that they would get him back. Whenever something happened, I knew that no one is going to die, no one is in danger. They played it very, very safe. They played it very safe. I don't know what should have been done. I don't know how they should have done it. I know that Rian Johnson really did not continue the arc, or really didn't continue anything that he was supposed to do in after the Force Awakens. And J.J. Abrams had to work what he got, and I think he got the best he could get out of this with the circumstances, and with Disney probably tying his hand down. Yeah, there has to be a lot of TV shows and books and comics and everything to explain everything that happened around here, to explain everything that happened between episode 8 and 9. And I think now that this is concluded, we can go, okay, finally, and let's see some new stories. Let's see some Old Republic stories. Let's see some, episode 10, 11, 12. Maybe if they're not even continuing the Skywalker saga. New threats, different kind of threats. Not galaxy-threatening threats, but something like to the Jedi Order. Let's just focus on the Jedi, and we don't need to always have everyone fighting. Oh, and just very important. Yes, this is very, very important. I did not write this down. Where the fuck is the New Republic? Where the fuck is the New Republic? Don't tell me this, that in 3 episodes we did not see anything of the New Republic. I was so much hoping at the very end of the movie, when they are waiting for the ships, when they're waiting for the fleet to come and help them, that the fleet would come in and someone, this is all you should have done, is, Resistance leader, this is Republic leader, we're here. And the New Republic sends all their ships. They're here to help. They're here to fight against the big and bad Palpatine again in a much bigger fight. And we didn't see much fight up there. I think maybe if they would have went 3 hours long with this movie, we could have had a more epic Star Wars fight at the end. Anyway, guys, this is all very, very fresh. Half an hour since I left. Well, now it's an hour since I left the movies. I rate this movie as a 70. 65, 70. It's way better than The Last Jedi. Trust me on that. It's not as good as The Force Awakens, and it cannot even compare to the original trilogy. The prequels, yeah, I think it's around episode 1 level, I think. Episode 1, episode 2 level, and nowhere near Revenge of the Sith. So, sorry about this rant. Sorry about this very long video, but this is my true opinion. If you want to see more videos like this, or, just like to talk Star Wars, then stick with me. And thank you very much for watching. Until my next video, stay safe and hang loose.